the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
AFP detects over 15,000 vessels in Philippine waters in whole month of May. Philippine Army keeps troops in Basilan despite ASG-free status. 90,000 jobs up for grabs in job fairs nationwide. LRT1 offers free rides tomorrow. Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Wednesday, June 11, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rolf Susan Abay, here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines reported monitoring a total of 15,765 vessels in Philippine waters from May 1 to 31, 2025. According to AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla, the highest number came from the continued illegal presence of Chinese forces, with 15 Chinese Coast Guard vessels and 11 PLA Navy ships spotted near Bajo de Masinloc. Of the total count, 12,608 were foreign vessels, 3,157 were local, and 1,349 failed to respond to AFP radio challenges. Pagasa Island recorded the highest number of unresponsive vessels at 665, followed by Tubataha Reef with 184 and Ayungin Shoal with 125. Despite the continued foreign intrusions, the AFP vows to strengthen maritime domain protection and safeguard the country's security, territorial integrity, and sovereignty.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army will maintain its troop presence in Basilan Province despite its official declaration as free from the Abu Sayyaf group. Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy Galido emphasized the need to sustain peace and support development in the area. He confirmed that 6 Army battalions remain stationed in Basilan as part of ongoing confidence-building efforts. While ASG presence is now considered minimal, Lieutenant General Galido stressed the importance of public awareness that Basilan is now peaceful. The declaration of Basilan as ASG-free was made last Monday by Presidential Peace Advisor Carlito Galvez Jr. and Special Assistant to the President Antonio Lagdamea Jr. based on a joint resolution passed by local peace and anti-drug councils on February 6, 2025.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Gio about Seymour Artist Open Senate session with patriotic performance.
The Visual Arts and Performing Arts teams of the Civil Military Operations Regiment delivered an inspiring opening performance at the Senate of the Philippines in Pasay City, marking the start of the third regular session of the 19th Congress. Their performance paid tribute to the enduring connection between military service, Filipino culture, and patriotism. Through music and artistic expression, the Seymour showcased its unique role in supporting nation building. The presence of Seymour within the Senate's opening session emphasized the armed forces of the Philippines' commitment in fostering civic engagement and cultural appreciation alongside its core mission and protecting the nation. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army awarded the Military Merit Medal to 15 soldiers from the 94th Infantry Battalion for their bravery during a clash with communist rebels in Himamaylan City, Negros Occidental. Major General Michael Samson, the command of the 3rd Infantry Division, personally pinned the medals on 2 officers and 13 enlisted personnel at the 94th IB headquarters in Isabela Town. The June 6 encounter led to the neutralization of a new People's Army member and the recovery of an M16 rifle and other war material. Amjan Samson praised the troops' courage and called on them to stay committed to their mission of peace and security in Negros Island.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippine Navy personnel aboard BRP Domingo de Luana and BRP Felix Apolinario joined Tactical Combat Casualty Care Training led by Joint Task Force Malampaya and the United States Army Civil Military Support Element in El Nido, Palawan. Held at the JTF Malampaya headquarters, the training taught life-saving medical techniques under combat conditions, including hemorrhage control, airway management, and vital signs monitoring. Reservists, Coast Guard personnel, and other security partners also participated. The Philippine Navy and its U.S. counterparts vowed to continue joint efforts in building medical readiness and promoting regional peace and maritime security.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Gina about 6 FAB troopers joined Brigada Escuela to prepare Sultan Kudarat School.
Yes, Rof. Troops from Alpha Battery 6th Field Artillery Battalion joined Brigada Escuela 2025 at New Tarlac Elementary School in Esperanza, Sultan Kudarat. In partnership with teachers, parents, and government agencies, the soldiers cleaned and repaired school facilities to help prepare for the upcoming school year. Their efforts supported this year's theme, Sama-sama para sa Bayang Bumabasa. The activity highlighted the Philippine Army's strong commitment to community service and educational support. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Navy confirmed that the U.S.-made Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System remains in the country for ongoing training with the Philippine Marine Corps. Philippine Navy spokesperson Captain John Percy Alco said the system used during the recent Balikatan and Kamandag joint exercises will stay in the Philippines as long as training opportunities exist. While the message was not fired during the drills, he emphasized its value in enhancing interoperability and readiness. He described the said asset as extremely helpful in defending against potential amphibious threats and said its presence serves as a deterrent to illegal and aggressive actions in Philippine waters.
DWDD National News.
And now for our national news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. declared a state of calamity in Eastern Visayas for 1 year to hasten the repair and rehabilitation of the San Juanico Bridge. This also aims to mitigate the impact on the residents of Samar and Leyte. In Proclamation 920, the President said that the state of calamity began last June 5 and would be in place unless lifted or extended as circumstances may warrant. Under the proclamation, PBBM directed the Department of Public Works and Highways, in coordination with concerned local government units, to expedite all measures necessary to repair and rehabilitate the San Juanico Bridge fully.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about NOLCOM strengthens defense posture through high-level collaboration with AFP Major Services and PCG.
The Northern Luzon Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines has intensified its defense posture through a series of high-level visits and collaboration with major AFP services and the Philippine Coast Guard. Led by NOLCOM Commander Lieutenant General Pernil G. Buca, Philippine Air Force, the visits aim to enhance interagency coordination and bolster internal and external security operations in Central and Northern Luzon. Lieutenant General Buca's June 9 visit to the Philippine Army headquarters in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City focused on ground operation and territorial defense with Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido, Philippine Army, Commanding General of the Philippine Army. On June 3, Lieutenant General Buca met with PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Hill L. Gavan, discussing maritime patrol and coastal security at the PCG headquarters in Manila. Lieutenant General Buca also met with Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Espeleta, on May 30, centering on joint maritime defense and surveillance at Naval Station Jose Andrada. Earlier on May 26, Lieutenant General Buca visited Philippine Air Force Commanding General Lieutenant General Arthur M. Cordura at the Colonel Jesus Villamor Air Base, Pasay City, emphasizing joint efforts in defense and surveillance. These collaborations underscores NOLCOM's commitment to jointly engage, sustainment, maintain, and readiness train force for defending the country's northern frontier. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from Nolcom.
DWDD National News.
National Security Advisor Eduardo Año will remain in his post and continue serving in the cabinet. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said that Año submitted his courtesy resignation, citing health concerns, but later decided to continue serving in the National Security Council. Castro said that Marcos supported Año's decision to stay on, citing his competence and good performance. The president recently asked all his cabinet secretaries to submit their courtesy resignations, citing the need for the government to be sharper, faster, and fully focused on the people's most pressing needs.
DWDD National News.
For our weather update, the Pag-asa is monitoring cloud clusters off the east of the country, which may develop into a low-pressure area in 2 days as another weather disturbance outside the Philippine area of responsibility moved away. But weather specialist Benison Estareja said that while the LPA of Zambales outside Par is headed towards southern China, it is still influencing the Habagat, which is now the dominant weather system in archipelago. Estareja added that Pag-asa is now on the watch for several cloud formations spotted over the eastern section of the country. Meanwhile, monsoon rains will prevail over Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro, Palawan, and Antique due to Habagat.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Meljoy of first-year GIABAD na 84 IB joins the Brigada Escuela to support schools in Nueva Ecija.
Yes, ROF, the 84th Infantry Victorious Battalion under the operational control of the 703rd Aguila Brigade 7th Infantry Kaugnay Division Philippine Army, actively participated in the conduct of Brigada Escuela 2025 in various schools across its area of operation in Nueva Ecija as part of its community support program and civil-military operations. The initiative aims to assist public schools in preparing a safe, clean, and conducive learning environment for students in time for the opening of the academic year. Personnel from the 84th Infantry Battalion rendered assistance in repairing classrooms, repainting walls, fixing broken furniture, and cleaning school grounds. These efforts were carried out in collaboration with the Department of Education, school administrators, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders. Parents also expressed their gratitude for the presence of the military in their civic effort. The participation of the 84th Infantry Battalion demonstrates the battalion's commitment to nation building, not only in time of conflict or disaster, but also in developmental initiatives that empower communities and uphold the importance of education. This activity reflects the Philippine Army's continued efforts to promote peace, development, and strong community ties through non-combat missions and public service. This is Maldry Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of First Year G.
DWDD National News.
And it's 12:50 in the afternoon, and happy viewing to our viewers on our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD, especially to retired Colonel Fernando Abubo from Don Rosendo and classmates of Batch 83. Happy viewing to all the viewers.
DWDD National News.
And for other national news, the Philippines has overtaken all other countries to become the world's top rice importer in 2024. A landmark policy paper released this week by the Integrated Rural Development Foundation paints a stark picture of a deepening crisis. The report describes a mega typhoon battering Philippine rice farmers and identifies policy failures that have pushed the country into its most vulnerable position in decades. Former University of the Philippines Los Baños Professor Chodoro Mendoza said the local rice industry is being drowned by a flood of cheap imports. He also added that had the 520,000 hectares of prime rice lands not been converted, the Philippines would be a rice surplus country.
DWDD National News.
Around 90,000 jobs will be offered in job fairs nationwide to mark Independence Day tomorrow, June 12. Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma called on job seekers to visit the nearest job fair site in their areas. There will be 49 job fair sites nationwide. Laguesma said they expect the number of job vacancies and participating employers to further balloon in the coming days leading to June 12. The agency also expects to surpass the job offers in past job fairs. Each job fair site will host a one-stop shop of government services to assist with pre-employment document processing and other auxiliary needs.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from Solcom, let us hear from Jess about stronger task force Katrankiluhan launched in Sorsogon City.
Yes, Rof. A stronger and more unified task force Katrankiluhan was relaunched during a coordination meeting held in Sorsogon City on June 10, attended by the 903rd Infantry Patriot Brigade. The meeting was spearheaded by the Sorsogon Police Provincial Office and participated by the representatives from the 31st Infantry Charge Battalion, Philippine Army, Special Action Force, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, and Philippine Coast Guard and other government agencies. The discussion highlighted the need to enhance interagency coordination to ensure faster and more effective rehabilitation and reintegration of former rebels. This unified approach serves as a crucial step toward fostering long-term peace, inclusive development, and sustainable security in the province of Sorsogon. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD National News.
And in celebration of Independence Day, passengers of the Light Rail Transit Line 1 can avail themselves of free rides tomorrow. The Light Rail Manila Corporation said the commuters can get free rides from 7 to 9 a.m. and from 5 to 7 p.m. LRMC said the free ride program aims to encourage the passengers to travel conveniently during Independence Day celebrations across Metro Manila. The travelers are also encouraged to take this opportunity to visit tourist spots located near the LRT1 stations.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said he was looking into the allegations of corruption against Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado following a complaint submitted by anonymous employees of the agency. Marcos said the case was hard to study due to the lack of specifics in the white paper used as evidence. This comes in response to reports alleging bribery, deportation irregularities, and misconduct by Viado, particularly in relation to foreign nationals formerly employed in now-banned Philippine offshore gaming operation hubs. Viado earlier denied the allegations, saying this was done by individuals whose underground operations were affected by the reforms in BI.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Bea. Representative Paulo Duterte urges the NPA drug abuse victims to speak out.
Good morning. Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte called on victims of drug abuse and former communist rebels to speak out and expose the cruelty and deception of groups behind violence in the country. In a statement, he emphasized the need to break the silence and reveal the crimes committed by those involved in illegal drugs and the New People's Army, which he described as a terrorist group. He blamed the NPA for causing thousands of deaths, displacements, and suffering among Filipinos, saying the group brings fear and extortion instead of peace. The lawmaker urged victims to reject lies and help counter terrorism with truth. This is Beatrice reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, all policemen, from generals down to lowest-ranking uniformed policemen, will be required to have or maintain a sound body that is acceptable to the eyes of the public. Philippine National Police spokesperson Brigadier General John Fajardo said, no less than National Police Chief General Nicolas Torres III emphasized the policy on the need to maintain a physically fit feature, as he argued that having a sound body is an indication of good discipline. Fajardo said that physical appearance of the police should already reflect discipline. She also added that there's no excuse, since the PNP chief himself at the age of 55 could still do 100 push-ups.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered concerned agencies to assist Filipinos affected by the protests in Los Angeles. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said Marcos directed the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles to continue to monitor the situation there. Castro said the president wants assistance for Filipinos who are based and working there. However, she added that these Filipinos are also being reminded to follow the laws in the country where they reside and work.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Shah about CA confirms 84 AFP senior officers add interim appointments.
Yes, Ralph. The Commission on Appointments confirmed the ad interim appointments of 84 senior officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The CA's Committee on National Defense, chaired by Representative Buhardin Jesus Romualdo, endorsed the appointments which were approved during the CA plenary session. The confirmed officers include generals and senior leaders from various AFP branches. The confirmation comes at a time when the AFP continues to play a crucial role in sustaining peace efforts, counterinsurgency operations, and territorial defense, especially in maritime areas of national concern. This is Shayna Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from our reporter on the ground, let us hear the report of Beth Tañete about 65 women and dependents received second dose of HPV vaccine.
Female personnel and dependents of the 6th Field Artillery Battalion received her second dose of the HPV vaccine as part of the cervical cancer prevention drive. With support from the Cotabato City Health Office, the vaccination events run smoothly. Health professionals facilitated the activity and emphasized the importance of HPV protection. The initiative highlights the battalion's ongoing effort to promote preventive health care and build a resilient military community. This is Beth Tañete reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for the stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tañete.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Appointments approved the odd interim appointments of Maria Norina Tangaro Casingal and Noli Rafael Pipo as commissioners of the Commission on Elections. During the hearing of the bicameral body, Senator Cynthia Villar questioned the COMELEC's practice of allowing persons with disabilities and senior citizens to cast their ballots at the ground floor without vote counting machines during the recent midterm 2025 elections. Villar says such practice should be reconsidered, considering that the PWDs and senior citizens have no knowledge whether their votes were counted. Meanwhile, Senator Risa Hontiveros also sought clarification regarding the reported discarded of approximately 6 million printed ballots. Hontiveros urged the COMELEC to ensure that future elections are free from costly errors and potential legal missteps. In the end, Villar endorsed the appointments of Casingal and Pipo for plenary approval.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again on Friday for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rolf Suzunabay for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.